Hello, and welcome to Sick Myth. I hope you'll find today's topic to be informative and fascinating. This is part two of a five-part series. Please enjoy. I was born and raised in Pittston, Pennsylvania, and its surrounding communities. I've called this area home for more than 30 years. The halfway point between Wilkes-Barre and Scranton, Pittston City lies in the Wyoming Valley on the east side of the Susquehanna River and on the south side of the Lackawanna River. Named after the British statesman William Pitt the Elder, the city was settled around 1770 by the Susquehanna Company of Connecticut. It was originally called Pittstown. The city gained prominence in the late 19th and early 20th centuries as an active anthracite coal mining city, drawing a large portion of its labor force from European immigrants. The first discovery of anthracite coal in the Wyoming Valley occurred around 1770, and the first mine was established in 1775 near Pittston. With the opening of a canal in the 1830s, Pittston became an important link in the anthracite coal and railroad industries, attracting thousands of immigrants and making Pittston a true melting pot. The population of Pittston boomed in the late 19th century and continued well into the 20th century. Coal mining remained the prominent industry in Pittston for many decades, but disasters did strike on more than one occasion. The first major tragedy, the Twin Shaft disaster, occurred at the Newton Coal Company's Twin Shaft Colliery near the city's railroad junction on June 28, 1896, when a massive cave-in killed 58 miners. At 3 a.m. on Sunday, June 28, 1896, 90 miners were at work in the red ash vein of the Newton Coal Company's Twin Shaft mine when the roof quickly caved in. At the time, it was believed that all of the men perished. The concussion from the explosion was heard for miles around. The foundation of nearly every building in Pittston was shaken. Windows and doors were rattled. In some nearby houses, residents were thrown from their beds, thinking an earthquake had occurred. Immediately after the boom, the colliery whistle and town fire alarms sounded. Word quickly spread throughout the community, and by sunrise, there was an estimated 5,000 people at the site. Newspapers reported havoc everywhere, from grief-stricken wives to frantic efforts at impenetrable tunnels of collapsed top rock and crushed timbers. As miners were placing strong wood timbers to shore up the weakened roof atop the mine shaft, the cave-in occurred. The timbers began to crack under the pressure above, known as squeezing. As the integrity of the timbers diminished, water from the Lackawanna River began flooding the mine shafts. A borehole was drilled from the neighboring shaft, Clear Spring, to the twin shafts, but timbers continued to twist and snap, ending any further rescue and recovery efforts. 2 rescue tunnels were attempted, though volunteers sometimes removed only 20 feet a day. Hope faded for the victims of the disaster, most of whom were Irish and Lithuanian immigrants. Their names were compiled later because the list of those working was also underground. 58 men and boys died during the cave-in, buried more than 430 feet below ground. In their wake, they left 31 widows and 101 orphans. None of their bodies were ever recovered. It was one of the largest coal mining disasters in Pennsylvania history, even larger than the Knox Mine disaster many decades later in nearby Port Griffith. In July 1896, testimony began in a formal investigation ordered by Pennsylvania's Governor Daniel H. Hastings to learn why the disaster happened, whether mining laws had been obeyed, and what might prevent future tragedies. It was learned during the Commission's investigation that chambers were left too wide without any coal and rock pillars to support the roof, causing a squeeze of one vein to topple onto the vein below. The Governor's Investigative Commission report was issued in September 1896, placing blame on the mine's superintendent and issuing safety recommendations, although these recommendations would often be ignored in subsequent years. The disaster played a major role after 1900 in the stronger unionization of northeastern Pennsylvania under the leadership of John Mitchell. Today, there is next to nothing that remains of the twin shaft colliery. In 2010, the shaft was filled in and all concrete foundations were demolished. The complex was located within Pittston Yard, now home to the Wilkes-Barre-Scranton Regional Railroad Station, operated by the Reading, Blue Mountain, and Northern Railroad. Since opening in 2023, Wilkes-Barre-Scranton Regional Railroad has featured sold-out weekend excursions from Pittston to Jim Thorpe, a scenic railway journey through the beautiful scenery of northeastern Pennsylvania. This historical marker at the site is the only reminder of the twin shaft disaster that took place in Pittston. About a mile from the site, at the intersection of North Main Street and Kennedy Boulevard, stands the Greater Pittston Coal Miner Marker, erected in 1979 by the Pittston Bicentennial Committee. The marker stands in appreciation for the unselfish sacrifice of labor beneath the earth, for the promise of a better future for generations to follow. Thank you for watching part 2 of this series. Stay tuned for part 3, where we explore the Buttonwood mine explosion of 1906 and the Baltimore mine tunnel disaster of 1919. Please like and subscribe. Until next time, thank you for watching. Take care.